uplifting the community. Let's talk about it. Real truth and power. Health. Wealth. Knowledge of self. Uplifting the community. Let's talk about it. Real truth and power. Health. Wealth. Knowledge of self. Uplifting the community. Let's talk about it.
Come on in, family. We're about to start. Come on in. We got a powerful show.
Real truth and power. Health. Wealth. Knowledge of self. Uplifting the community. Let's talk about it.
Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. It's been a while since I've been on. Had to take a brief week off to spend some time with the family during my birthday. I've been blessed. We got a powerful show today. So before I get started, let me start the show with the intro, and I can introduce our guests.
You are now tuned in to Real Truth and Power, the show that uplifts the community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Here's your host, Everett Winchester.
All right, family, we got a powerful show today, a powerful show. As you know, we want to get this information out to our people. We are talking about Kemet. We're talking about Maat today. Yes, so I'm blessed to have one of our elders, Chief Elder John D. Henry, man of brothers, a minister of spiritual teaching. He talks about the 42 laws of Ma'at, the 7 principles of Ma'at. We have a powerful, powerful interview today. So let me bring in my brother. I don't want to hold you guys up. Please, by the way, like and share this information. Get a pen, pad, notepad, take on all the information you can. And please, just again, like and share this information. Let's get this information out to our people. Let me bring on my guest right now. All right, family, I'm blessed to have in my guest, Chief Elder John Henry from South Carolina, I believe. Hotep to you, my brother. Please give the family a brief description of your background.
Hotep and blessed, and this Chief Elder Minister John Henry out of Georgetown, South Carolina. First of all, it is an honor to be on this platform today, and that I'll be touching a little bit on our spirituality and dealing with the 42 principles of Ma'at. I'm also the Chief Elder of the new African Gullah Geechee village coming to Georgetown very soon. So it's an honor to be present at this moment.
Well, it's definitely an honor to have you. And as you can see, I have a Ma'at shirt on now, so it's coincidental that I got you here on this day. I was like, let me grab my shirt real quick. I'm going to wear it anyway. So the ancestors are really blessing us. I want to talk to you a little bit about, before we get into Ma'at, just talk to the family a little bit about Kemetic studies. For those that, I don't want to say ignorant, don't have the knowledge of what Kemet is, just introduce the family to Kemet. What is Kemet? What's it all about?
Wow. I've been doing a lot of extensive research over the last 15 years. And so let me back up just a tad so that the audience can understand my position and where I'm coming from and where I'm getting ready to speak to. I was born and raised in most likely everybody has been born and raised in a Baptist home or Christian home, whatever you want to call it. And I say this with the deepest respect. My mother had us in church 3 or 4 times a week. Even after school, I had to do my homework. Then we was off the church doing Bible study. And so, but yet there was always a light that was inside of me, and to keep on seeking. And so I honored my parents, to the fullest. And but yet deep down inside, I knew something was missing in the world. And I'm fully aware at the age of everything, at the age of 6, of my surroundings. But I grew up like any other child grew up in the hood, And so moving forward, to the point where I'm now becoming a young adult, and I established my first apartment. So now that I'm exiting out of my parents' house, I'm now setting a platform for myself, for my beginning, my journey through this path. And so I end up joining the Nation of Islam for 22 years. Me and my family, we took our Shahada. We went to the Million Man March back in October the 16th, the very first Million Man March in DC. And yet I still had this distinct feeling that something else wasn't right. I'm not hitting those lines or those paths where I need to be at, but I know I was being directly and guided by our ancestors. So we joined the nation and we took our Shahada. We end up writing our letters to the Nation of Islam to get our last name as Muhammad. And everybody came back. My wife, my 3 princesses came back past, but mine was the only one that I had. I had to go ahead and resubmit mine again.
Right.
So this just is like tests and trials and errors going on your path. And so I said, well, I didn't want to go and be in the nation to happen to be out there on the corners selling a newspaper, and I know I'm about to start raising a family. So I just joined them to be a supporter, to buy the bean pies, the final call papers. And I said, I know that, at least I can do a little bit of something.
Right.
Because I was starting to see how control systems have played all of our lives. And so branching off from that and relocating to Georgetown, South Carolina from Utica, New York, after I passed the south of the border on 95, entering into South Carolina, my whole life changed. And I say that with respect because of fundamental growth and challenges. And so moving forward, I was introduced to Pastor Ray Hagan with the African Village out of St. Louis.
Okay.
And I heard a statement that he said that kind of jarred my spirit from the toes to the crown of my head. And I said, I never rejected anything or anyone. I invited the Jehovah Witness in my home, the Moors, anyone that called themselves, into religion and things like that. Because at the end of the day, we are people, we are family.
Right.
And so when Ray had a video out that Jesus ain't coming back, I said, oh boy, what I'm in for now. So, but I had to, keep an open mind that most people don't do it. They automatically, the brain just shut down and just throw it out the way. And you said, oh no, don't mess with my King Jesus. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I've been there,
Right.
done that. And
Right.
so I called and talked to one of my oldest brother named Alma Fiuka out of uh, West Palm Beach, Florida. And I
Okay.
said, do you know, brother? And see, now I'm establishing validation for myself. Okay. And so he said, I said, what are you speaking of? Is it the truth? And he said, you can take it to the bank. So I said, well, okay, this is real great. And so that started me on another path and a journey into spirituality, And so doing a lot of validation for myself. I hear people, and this is why I want to stress to each and every individual that's hearing my voice and it's on this call. You have to get validation for yourself. We don't need no more black leaders. All we need is teachers and the right teachers. And so, traveling through this path, it was awesome and challenging. And yet, I said, okay, this is another knot on my belt of accomplishments and challenges
Right.
in life. And so, knowing Pastor Ray, I said, well, I need to meet this elder. And so me and my family, was honored to meet him about 10 years ago in Columbia, South Carolina, at one of the black campuses. I don't
Okay.
think it was Benedict College, but I know it was a black sorority
Mm-hmm.
um, that had put on this event. And that was my very first time meeting Pastor Ray Hagan.
Okay.
And then after that, I met him two times in Charleston, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And so that led me on a quest to keep seeking. Because, see, sometimes we grab something new and we stuck right there. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? And so I know that I have to do what I need to do. And plus, the compassion that I have for my people here in North America and around the world, the melanated people, I said I got to be able to shed some light on the whole situation.
Right.
We have a great terminology that we use that I picked up: so above, so below. And that means that everything that's under the sun and below the sun, I am very aware and have some knowledge, and I say that lightly, some knowledge of what spirituality, Kemet, and everything, because basically everything is inside of us. It just has been suppressed through social engineering that these Europeans have played on our parents and our elders as well. So you can see yourself traveling through the canals of a woman to be brought into the light, and yet
Yes.
knowing that something has been played over you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so just going through this, it's been an awesome experience. I had 4 heart attacks,
Wow.
but I'm thankful. And trust me what I'm saying. I'm thankful that our ancestors allowed me to experience that to free me up from the slave plantation, which is a job, saying, so that I can be totally free and
Right.
independent. Me and my queen, we both are fully retired. So no one or not one thing has anything to do over my affairs and my life as of the last years. And I'm honored, and I say that with great dignity and respect, that I am finally free. We are finally free to come and go as we please, to speak as we speak, with all due respect. And so many other people will say, I would love to walk in your shoes. Yeah, you can walk in them. You see what I'm saying? But are you willing to sacrifice it all? That's the main key. That's the main principle. Now I'm gonna connect all of this with what you're speaking of, because I love that shirt, that 7 principles of Ma'at. And those 7 are the most powerful as sayings or scriptures from my ancestors, that if you can't comprehend the 42, you see what I'm saying? Lean heavily on the 7.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's
you know, right. Because we know all that's been taken out of Kemet, which is in Africa, or we call it El Pibolan, because the Africa is a European terminology.
That's right.
So El Pibolan in the pyramids, it is written in stone, the 42 principles of Ma'at.
That's right.
When Constantine invaded Mother Africa, they seen the writings on the wall, and they said, no, we can't allow them to get this. Because now, remind you, this is all about social engineering and mind control.
That's right.
So this is where the 10 Commandments in your Bible, or shall I say our Bible, because it's really talking about Black people, but you got to know how to decipher the code, because it's a code.
Right.
And so that's where the 10 Commandments comes out of there. They twist it a little bit, but we got the message clearly.
Right, right.
You know, and so dealing with Kemet and the 42 principle of Ma'at, I have 12 master teachers that has took me up under their wing. Some had transitioned already, and some are still here. Like one of my master teacher, Pastor Ray Hagan, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Ben, Brother Wallace, Wilson, Francis Cross Whalings. Because see, you have to add balance. You have to add balance. You just can't act immaculate. You see what I'm saying? That's how the Europeans, that's why we always have a male image in front of us and not the female. Correct. Now, mind you, I may jump from here to there, but that's how the spirits that we had just welcomed everyone, our ancestors, protection and guidance just before we went live. Right. But we catch that recording, and I would like to share that with you. It's on YouTube, and that you can play it from time to time in your home if you are sincere. And if you are for real with yourself to get a better understanding than an outer standing or understanding. Right. Because everything starts and exists inside of us. And so I also was able to get a copy of a book called The Hosea. Mm-hmm. And that is Sacred Writings of Ma'at.
Wow, now you teaching me. What's that called, Chief Elder?
The Hosea. Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
Okay. It's the Hosea. It's selection from the Hosea, Sacred Wisdom of Ancient Kemet. And that's Husia. And it's been in Karanga, a very, very good book to have. Also, I got the book in front of me.
Okay.
If you decide to pick up this one, Spiritual Warriors Are Healer by Motion Deesa. So you can see by getting your validation that I'm on point.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because I had to have the best of the best. Now, remind you, even though I show you these books, and just like everybody did, and this is where I get upset with our conscious community, respectfully, they always trying to sell us something, a book. Oh, buy this book, buy that book. Yeah, okay, but see, the author makes a difference too. But I tell them respectfully, I'll make a donation. But let me tell you something. All the books that ever been written in existence even before time.
Right.
I just had to be reawakening and exposed to it to remember. Because see, this European system using that engineering, they don't want you to remember.
Right.
And no, this ain't because of racism and your color. It's because they know who you are and want you to stay asleep. And that's why every year around Martin Luther King's birthday, they play that one tape. So that one recording of I Have a Dream.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? See, we not understanding the subliminal messages that is being entered in our mindset, and that we are controlling and being controlled of our own. We doing it to ourselves.
Right.
Because we're not really paying attention. We're watching this towards entertainment, but we're not watching it towards education. See what it's trying to tell us. And I understand. Truly I understand. I've been there. And it's real hard to be able to sit where I'm sitting, because there's sometimes they just want to throw the towel in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But the ancestor grabbed me back and said, that ain't why I sent you here. Because I know in the Bible it says that, and I believe this the Creator saying that, we will never leave you without a comforter. And they talking about someone in the flesh that you can see, touch, and feel that positive energy, that vibe. You see what I'm saying? And don't be studying or concentrating on a spook or something that's gonna come off the sky to save you, when you got the flash right in the front of you. So, you know, we're giving that to say, what they do.
I see you. You good?
I'm good. Something happened. I can't see now.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
There
we go. And so, going back to the 42 principles of Ma'at, you'll notice that it's really representing a scale, and that adds balance. And see, this is connected to my horoscope, which is a Libra, which is the scale.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And see, everything is not a coincidence. It's just like going back to the Million Man March, and I said it fell on what day? October the 16th, which is the anniversary of my birth. So I'm picking up these things. I said, is this a coincidence? You know what I'm saying? So, but yet that scale represents balance, wholeness and balance. Now, fill me on this, because I finna drop it. I'm finna come deep now. So
right,
if you want to grab a pencil and a piece of paper at this time.
You know I'm ready, Chief Eld. I'm ready.
And take some notation.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Sit back and relax. Put your seatbelt on, because this is going to be a ride of your life. And you're going to be saying, I never heard a chief elder minister speak as he speaks. You see, I don't come with no degrees. I say this is sweet and simple. I don't use big words. I speak a third grader could understand what I'm saying.
That's right.
So I know we surpassed third grade, but this is how the ancestors given it to me, and getting back to the 42 principles of Ma'at, that scale, it's represent on one end as positive and the other end is negative. Some call it evil, some call it this, some call it that. But see, watch out for the terminology because you're going to be giving the energy to those entities.
Right.
And so that's why I had to train myself to say positive or negative, because I don't want to be added to no fuel to no fire that I can't control,
Right. Right.
And that is connecting also with the halls of Ma'at, which is judgment. And this is where supposedly when we transcend from this side into the spiritual realm, let me put this out there first. You ain't going to heaven and you ain't going to hell. You're going somewhere because the body is energy.
Right.
Yes, this spirit, this flesh will return back to Mother Earth. But when you transcend, the spirit will enter into a realm where it originated from. You can call it the Most High, you can call it Buddha, you can call it Kishma, call it what you want to call it, but don't call it until you know it personally.
Right.
And can give it a name. So I use the terminology, the source, where all life originated from. And so as far as Kemet and the two principles of my study and my research, it speaks of the hall of judgment. And that's where either your good deeds and your bad deeds will be weighed against the feather. Now, if you got a feather on the right side and you got your deeds on the left side, and if it doesn't balance out correctly, you see what I'm saying? And if it tips too much to the right, good for the right, for the left, because that's the feather now. That's the purity, and that will definitely say, okay, you're either gonna come back and do this life all over again, or when you transcend, you're gonna repeat your last thought or your last good and bad deeds all over again. And see, one thing about these Europeans, they master technology, which is fear. If you want to use that terminology and just go without thinking, And so the halls of Ma'at is a sign. It still needs to be further investigated. You see, I haven't had the honor to make that pilgrimage to Mecca or to Kemet, and see the writings on the walls myself and experience and touch the wall, leave my oil print on the wall, and see what's written in stone is the original. Right. Anything outside of that writing on that wall there is a copy or a clone. So then you got to watch out because some people is misinterpreting different things.
I want to go ahead, Chief Elder. No, I was going to ask you that because I was at a lecture or watching a webinar or something, and someone made a good point. He was like, if you want to know the truth, our history is on the walls. But he said that's very funny why we can't find the 10 Commandments. And he said it's very funny while there are a lot of pharaohs and history of our people on the walls, we don't have any history of Moses and any documentation that we can find. And now you're telling me that, Ma'at is there. And when I started coming into the knowledge, I was like, well, wow. It just messed me up because I realized that a lot of the stuff from the Bible was stolen, or not, maybe if you want to say stolen, but changed to alter and take away from our true history. So I'm glad you said that. You can actually go there and see it yourself and touch it and feel it. And I'm with you. I got to make that pilgrimage myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And see, once you accept it, see, first, in order to break this spell, you have to first, one, admit to yourself and say, I've been conditioned. That start breaking the yoke, that chain. And go on the quest of keep seeking. And the elders that I just mentioned, Pastor Ray Hagan with WBLR.com, you can subscribe to that website. And on that website, it's gold.
Okay.
It's gold. Because everything that he had researched it has been documented. And he would definitely share that information with you. You can download it and have it and add it to your package, to your library as well. And see, I love documentations. And just like with an author, you have to know a little bit about the author and the authenticity of the writings, you see. And so I was able to go ahead and download that package. And the package is for free. You see what I'm saying? And the brother not asking. He got tons of CDs that deals with a lot of topics and stuff like this. And let me say this with a period on the end.
Okay.
Respectfully. There's different opinions about Brother Ray, Chief Elder. Okay. Yes, he's been in the Army. He also been with a part of the police department, for X amount of years. So I can't knock him for what he did in the past or who he joined on to. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of people say, oh, I seen a video saying that Pastor Ray was this and blah, 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 blah. No, see, you misinterpreted. All he was saying is telling you how to act when you're being pulled over by police officers. That's all he was talking about, right, from his point of view and his training, so that you're not creating an atmosphere that's uncomfortable for yourself, because your vibration, your thought can go ahead and travel to that officer. You see what I'm saying? Now you in a situation that you shouldn't have been in. But if you were thinking consciously and positively and keeping on positive thoughts in your mind, you can control that situation, even if that officer got a bad day or he got bad intention. You'll be like a fireman putting the water out, and it will go out. You see what I'm saying? So that's basically what, in a nutshell, what Pastor Ray was saying. So a lot of people threw it out the air. I mean, they're just like, yo, if you part of Ray Hagan, I ain't got nothing to do with you. See, now you don't place judgment.
Exactly.
Not only on me, but you place judgment on yourself. And judgment is only a stumbling stone that will make you trip. You see what I'm saying? So don't place judgment, get judgment out your mind. You see what I'm saying? So this way you can freelance. Right. You see what I'm saying? And go and eat. And so dealing with Kemet, our people land. That is where they says in the Bible, they talk about Alpha and Omega. That's us, the original people of this planet. You see what I'm saying? We are the first, and we are going to be the last. You know what I'm saying? So everything in between is a clone. You see what I'm saying? It's a carbon copy, but it doesn't say that it's the original. And so experiencing the 42 principles of Ma'at, I share it with my princesses. I download copies of it. I share it with friends. And I asked him because I remember my dad when I was young. You know, we used to read the Ten Commandments before I had to leave the house. That's a program. He was programming, not knowing what he was doing, but his sincerity to his religion and their time was 100. So I had to respect that foundation that he had prepared for me. And so, but yet with the 42 principles of Ma'at, try to remember. You're not going to be judged if you don't remember it. Because I sit right here and tell you, I might can give you the first three
Right.
right now, not because of choice, it's because of circumstances and the environment, from the chemtrails to the GMO foods, and ain't no telling what's in the water, because what it's doing is manipulating our DNA structure and our body, period. And so, but I have a big plaque on my wall.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I see it every day. And all of this is coming from the 42 principles of Ma'at in life. And so then I established an altar in my home. You see what I'm saying?
Now that's interesting because I'm actually in a study group. We're actually studying Anthony Broader's Nile Valley book, The Contribution to Civilization. And one of our members is always talking about altars. And I was thinking about doing one. Go into that a little bit about how you set up your altar, what's it consists of, and why you have one.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad you asked that question. And because, see, and then remind me to share this information from a YouTube video that has Motion Deep, that brother right there. And there was a movie that came out called Happy. Have you seen that movie?
I actually saw the premiere. It was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen the movie either. I've seen the premieres because every time when I try to retrieve it, something happened. But
man, it's good. It's really good.
But in one of their open discussions after the film was released and a lot of people went to see it, they had a Zoom conference. Mm-hmm. And there's two of them. Matter of fact, there might be 10 of them at least, because every time I turn around, when I turn on the YouTube, there's another interview with one of the cast, and also like Professor James Small.
Yeah, he's on there.
Please forgive me, Professor. If you see this, I should have mentioned your name first.
Well, you got Dr. Jeffrey, so you okay?
Yeah. See, Professor James Smalls is from Georgetown, South Carolina, originally.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. Okay. And I also had Dr. Leonard Jeffrey phone number in my phone with many others that I call them at least every couple months. And so, but getting back to the altar, which was taken from us. The altar you can set it up on a milk crate. And you probably have maybe a white cloth or towel. And this is the beginner one, okay? Plain and simple. And the altar is basically where you will be channeling your energy. And then we're going to get a little bit more on the energy too. I don't know how much time we have on this segment, because I can talk until
we got a little time. You good? We got a little time. You're teaching.
Okay, great. So this altar is a place where you'll have a white candle on there that you'll be burning. You also will have 9 vases, shot glasses, if you have them. And I know somebody got some shot glasses in their house.
Right.
So you have those where you pour waters in there.
Okay.
Because this is going to start connecting to pouring libations and doing different rituals.
Okay.
And so you will have 9 of those. And also, I should have had a picture. I know it's in my phone. I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone, then I'll show you. I should have been on my other, so I could have walked through my house and get a personal feeling of the chief elder. And maybe we'll do that at another time.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
anyway, getting back to the altar is where our ancestors, our aunts, uncles, niece, nephews, whoever had transitioned, you'll have something of them, even if they're obituary, because I have all mine on the wall. You see what I'm saying? I started out with a big one. I just went all out with it. I had the table already. I was going to throw it out, and good things came aligned. I'm glad I didn't throw it out because now it is my altar. And I have different African carvings on there as well. I have a vase on there that has a plate on it where I can put my fruits and vegetables on that as I'm giving my offering. You know, some of our ancestors was alcoholics. They loved to drink. So I might have pour a little bit of Hennessy, you know, and some of the things. And I'm saying this is what they like. This is what you attract them to. Now, mindful now, we have some ancestors that you may not want to talk about. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you're drawing the right ones in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But it's all balanced. Because, see, now you in the driver's seat. You controlling everything in your reality. And this is what other people are saying, and this is what I just got off one of the things that watch out what ancestor you're calling. But Bobby Hammett, you see what I'm saying? He's the master of calling the ancestor. They say call him call him by their name. You know what I'm saying? And Bobby, he's from South Carolina too.
I didn't know that.
Well. Yes, sir. Columbia, I believe it's Columbia, South Carolina. I know that's where his parents wanted to send him to school.
Wasn't he having some health issues? Is he okay? How's his health right now? I might have been hearing bad info.
No, you was hearing correctly. Brother Bobby has suffered a stroke about maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
You know, and he's still alive and well. And there's some controversies on my side of why he had a stroke. You see what I'm saying? I think somebody might have slipped something on him. But yet, ultimately, we dealing with the dark side. Okay. Right. So let me get back to the altar, and then we're going to hit how these spirits and how everything is really taking control of our lives, even though we think we in control. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that altar is where you give honor and respect, and that's where you're going to get your energy from. You see, that positive energy that will help you while you walking or driving. Because when you driving 2 and 4 different directions or destinations, you don't know what's at the end. You see what I'm saying? So before you leave your home, you want to be 100% confident that you're going to return back the same way that you left. Right. You see what I'm saying? With no problems. Like I was speaking of earlier, I had 4 heart attacks. I got 4 stents in my heart. And I know that the 4th heart attack, let me put a period before that and let me hit this because it's very important. I don't want to.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
When I had my 4th heart attack, my granddaughter was in the hospital having labor with my great-grand, you know, and me and my wife was traveling. I had pain in my chest. And so I was driving, so she seen how I was at the steering wheel. And she asked me if I was all right. I said, no. So I immediately pulled over, and she got in the back, because it was me, my wife, and my best friend and his wife. And so I pulled over, and she took the wheel. My best friend called 911 and said we was on the way. We're coming to the hospital, and we was like 3 minutes from the hospital. And so when we arrived at the hospital, they put me on EKGs and all that stuff right there and said you had a little slight heart attack. I said, oh boy, so that means I got to stay in this daggone hospital. I don't mess around and sign that permission slip.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, to be in there. And so I'm on the second floor. You see, now prior to that day, my great grand was born. You know what I'm saying? Soon I walk through the door, she don't got 9 or 10 centimeters. I get in the door, they in the room, the doctor's delivering the baby head coming out, and I'm starting to film. You see what I'm saying? And I said, okay, I made it on time because I wasn't fun. I went through that. Man, I got 15 grandkids. So I'm not going to go through all that. Let me know when you get the 9 centimeters, then I know when to come.
Right, right.
So, because I wasn't going to stay in the hospital all day long, you know what I'm saying? I've been through that 5, 6 times, you know. So I learned the mathematics of wait, have patience,
Right.
you know. So now that I'm on the second floor, 5 or 6 room for my granddaughter and my great grand.
Wow.
So the ancestor allowed me to be on that floor.
That's crazy.
For protection. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Me and my spirit had the whole second floor locked down.
That's crazy.
Anything evil, whatever thought of coming on that second floor would have been dealt with. See, this is when you have an understanding of who you are and the power that you have. And so by being in the bedroom, I walk out down the hall to the corridor, peek in, go in there and see how my granddaughter, my great-granddaughter doing, everybody doing fine. Now, all the 3 nurses that have been coming in, they want them to stay in the room and everything like that. They go and check the vital signs, the temperature and all that, blah, blah. But this happened. I happened to be in there when this Caucasoid nurse came in there.
Wow.
All of a sudden, want to take my great-grand out of the room.
Oh, man.
I said, ma'am, respectfully, you must be didn't get the memo, because whatever power that you got is trying to intercede, but I'm right here at the door, in the room, to meet you. You see what I'm saying? And so she said, well, we want to take the baby and put him in a nursery with the other kids. Really? That's not going to happen. My great-grand going to stay right there with the mama, and you can come in here. Now, I'm telling her what she can do. You can come in here and take the blood pressure, make sure everything going right, and then get out. Because I'm on this floor now.
Right.
So that's how the ancestor repositioned me to be where I need to be at, because they foreseen that nurse was going to come in there.
That's deep. That's deep.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why I give honor to our ancestors. I give honor to our ancestors more than I give to the Creator, to be personal with it, because I know where my power and my strength is coming from. You see what I'm saying? Now, that one source that I spoke about earlier, and that's why I say you can call it this and you can call it that, the Most High, whatever. If I do that source personally and that I can give it a name, then I will represent that, because it says also in Kemet, it said that ye are all gods, children of the Most High.
Right.
So if I'm a god and we have gods and goddesses, then who do I pay attention to and give my energy to outside of me? You see what I'm saying? And I say this with deep respect. So, but you got to remember too, once you get a hold of this understanding, of this knowledge, because spirituality really means knowledge and knowing. You see what I'm saying? Some of the conscious community might try to throw that way out in left field, but that's bottom line. That's what it is. It's knowledge, what you're knowing. Because if you ain't knowing nothing, you ain't got no spirituality.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, Chief Elder. Sorry to cut you off. You
Good.
flowing. Spirituality versus religion. It's a beautiful sister. I'm a follower. I'm in a book club, Dr. Maat. and she just did a podcast on that, and it was she was talking about the difference of religion and spirituality. It seemed that you had religion, but when you got your true spirituality, that's when you kept saying you were free. Talk about the difference, and how the spirituality is probably more powering than religion.
Yes. See, Christianity or religion is only 2,000 years old. First of all, you got to realize that.
Yes.
Before you go any further, you got to realize that. And that Christianity or religion is basically a control system, a control mechanism. And they use social engineering. So that means they know your whole biological makeup. They know exactly how to make you tick and what you're going to cling on to. And so, but when you're dealing with spirituality, which go back millions of years ago, you see what I'm saying? Then that's what I tell my Christian family, for just out of respect. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, if Christianity is only 2,000 years ago, who built the Sphinx and the pyramids? That's over millions of years ago.
Right.
And then I watch their eyes and see that their pupil goes up, because that means that now they're starting to think. You see what I'm saying? They're starting to think, they're trying to figure it out, but they can't go past religion.
Right.
Because they already been indoctrinated. You see what I'm saying? Into a belief system. So let's break down belief.
There we go.
Let's break this down. I don't know who's all on here, but I'm going to tell you, I have an orange marker in my hand. I don't have to believe that it is orange. I know it's orange. See the difference between belief and knowing? So, but when you believe in, you are believing in things to hope for. Why would you want to hope for something where you should be knowing? Basically, it's elementary.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? But we've been brought up under this condition, and I don't fault no one. I don't want nobody to be having an anxiety attack. I want you to sit back, grab you a nice thing of water, and just take some sips. Because I said we on this journey. You can unbuckle your seatbelt for right now. You see what I'm saying? While you go ahead and get that water if you ain't already got it. You see what I'm saying? Because this is pouring from the fountain of youth, fountain of life. And this is why I wear an ankh connecting with Ma'at, the 42 principles of Ma'at. You can see it look like a scale. You just don't see the balances on there because you apply the balance yourself. You see what I'm saying? And that represents 360 degrees of life. The cross is a crucifix. It represents death and destruction.
Yes.
So why would you want to wear something that represents death and destruction? Because you're the children of Satan now in your mindset, because you've been indoctrinated. You've been programmed into a religious belief system.
That's amazing. You flowing on that. It's crazy because when you start talking about, here's what's really crazy. I'm going to show my shirt real quick. How my eye and the wings looks like an angel.
Yes.
And then you start talking about the 42 laws of my eye and comparing them to the 10 commandments, and you find out the 42 laws of my eye, that the 10 commandments came from it. And like you said, you had the ankh, which was here way before a cross was even thought of. I often not get into it because I don't like to debate. I don't really debate. Right. I'm not a debater. But I hear my friends saying, man, this is what I choose to believe. So, and I'm like, but I'm telling you things that you can learn and know for a fact. And it's that verse in the Bible when they talk about Jesus Christ, and they talk about, think of those, I don't know the right verbiage, but think of those who will not see, but will have to believe. And that is mind control in itself. to say you're not going to see this stuff. There's no proof of it, but I want you to believe it. It kind of conditions our people not to want to go back to the motherland, not to want to go find their culture and history. Break that down. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, man. Just like what you were speaking of, starting out when I found out that Jesus didn't exist.
Well, Chief Elder, now
Hold on. I'm connected to.
I know you are, but you're saying something powerful.
Speaking.
You're gonna shock some people.
Oh yeah, I tell you to put on your seatbelt.
That's right.
Because I'm forewarning you. I might say some things that is out of your vista, because right now you are in a box. So let's do this. This is what we're going to do from now on. We're going to say this. The space inside this circle represents your realm of knowledge.
That's right.
Everything that you know, everything you think you know, or should I say you believe, is all inside that box. That's your whole life. That's your whole history. So what I'm speaking to now is outside the box.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad you broke that down. I'm going to use that.
Okay, and so we're going to say that respectfully because I know the trauma. And I know this is going to hit deep.
It hurts, and it's shocking.
And it's going to hurt. You see what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for my queen, that see how I wanted to be like Brother Martin Luther King, go to the mountaintops. You see what I'm saying? And tell my people to hold the press. Stop this, stop that. You see what I'm saying? We've been hoodwinked, like Malcolm said. We've been hoodwinked. We've been bamboozled. You see what I'm saying? And she seen that it was adding stress on me. You see what I'm saying? And you know what she said? She said, honey, let it flow from the top, the front of your head, and let it absorb to the back. And when it's time for you to bring it, only when it's time for you to bring it, it will flow like a river. She saved my life. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I was able to balance it. You see what I'm saying? That I don't stress myself out because I was debating. Now, you don't took my King Jesus from me. So now I'm all in now. It's do or die.
Right.
And see, back in the days when I was coming up, we always say you can have whatever you can take from me, but just don't take my genitals away from me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I might slip once in a while here because see that's the spirit. And when
you fine,
don't take and get it twisted that I won't cuss because Bobby Hammond said there ain't no such thing as no cuss words. That was just dialect of how we use different expressions. Okay. And so, I mean, it was a battle. So I had to empty this old vase, like the Bible speaking of, the old vase, and pour out that old wine and replace that old vase with a new vase and fill it with new wine, that's the life, that's the knowledge, that's the understanding. You see what I'm saying? Of my art. Until you can do that, you're going to be fighting with yourself, and I mean literally fighting with yourself and your inner spirits, because I fight them jokers every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an exception to the fact because of what I have an understanding, but I can foresee it. I can feel when I see negative or feel that negative energy coming from a person. You see what I'm saying? Even if it's family member, I had to recap myself and I had to think positive. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been on blew off handle. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to release that kind of energy only when it's necessary to go against. You see what I'm saying? And so that altar, you see what I'm saying, is your reference. That's where you have your moment. You leave everything aside, everything, and you just focus on you and your ancestors. And you can personalize it. Don't put Bobby Brown on there. Don't put Michael Jackson on there. You see what I'm saying? Put your loved ones on there. Because see, I tell pastors and bishops all the time when I used to debate with them, and I say that we have to stop preaching death because there is no death. It's just a separation. We go through a transitioning period because the body is made of energy. Mm-hmm. And each and every one of us, if we was the only person in a city, now check this out, this is real. This is scientific evidence. And one person in one city can light up that whole city with your energy.
Yes.
Now imagine if you have 50, even 10, operating on that same vibration, that same level, that same tone. You can take over that city just with your thoughts. You see what I'm saying? And that's powerful. See, you really don't know how powerful you are because you was disconnected from your mother's tongue and your mother's language and your land. You see what I'm saying? Which is nature. This is why they practicing social dissonance. Let me tell you the formula. They don't divide the family long time ago. You see what I'm saying? Now they got to separate you. Well, you saying Minister Chief Elder divide and separate, it's the same thing. No, it ain't. It ain't. Because see, now you spacing yourself out from nature, your family, your people. That's that energy connection that you can draw, that love, that feeling, that compassion, that sorrow, that pain. That's an automatic expression of energy that you are receiving. So now they know how to keep you distant from yourself. So now you might really have an anxiety attack because you ain't used to being home like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in the workplace and you used to being at work and for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day or whatever. And you had to now be home like I am in my home office. You know what I'm saying? Which, hey, I've been ready. I've been going through this before this pandemic has happened, the social distance. So it doesn't bother me. It's just like, okay, let me go get me an ice cream out the refrigerator and chill out. You know? And so basically, the spirituality side of it, which you will have a more understanding of your chakras, your energy, you will have an understanding or about lower vibrations and lower frequencies and how to raise your frequency level. You see what I'm saying? To a higher plane, because that's how they got you. You're operating on a lower vibration, low frequency. And that's why they're able to control the thinking of the age. You see what I'm saying? And see, that's why another perfect example, when you at a ball game, don't you know they measure your energy level? See, they got technology that's 100 years in advance, if it's not more. And they can sit in their chambers or in their office, and they can measure everybody's heartbeat and energy level. And they know how to raise it. See, the experiment was with 9/11. We still dealing with spirituality now. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
When those buildings or that plane hit that building, don't you know the energy level of fear and uncertainty it had measured on a Richter scale?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And see, you won't know this if you ain't conscious and you ain't dealing with spirituality. You see what I'm saying? They seen it pick from the time that plane hit until the building fall. your energy level. And that was an experiment how they can get you. You see what I'm saying? They know you, they know us better than we know ourselves. That's how they were able to master. And that's how the brothers and the sisters, or shall I say the gods and the goddesses say, master what? Master self.
That's deep, because it's funny, they have in some of the top universities, they in like Cornell, they have Kemetic studies and stuff like that. It's like they're studying us and know us, but we don't know us. Like you said, it's easy to control a people when you know their history. They know that we're real spiritual people. You get spiritual when you hear African drums. It's the same as when you go to church and you hear the gospel. I mean, even though you don't believe it, the music is spiritual. Right. And so they use our spirituality to control us, I think, in a lot of ways. So, that is something that is deep, that they use all of that to control us in a lot of those ways.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I say. And see, and that's what, let me pause for a second. A couple of my tribes that's coming, my brothers and sister, brother Zeke is from North Carolina, and sister Miriam Canteen. I thank you for chiming in, because I know you probably could have been doing anything better, saying, but when the chief elder minister is out there live in cyberspace, you wanted to tune in. So thank you. Brother, this is my brother Everett that gave me the invitation to be on his panel, on his show, and we are streaming. He is streaming live as well. And so the topic that we basically is talking about is the 42 principles of Ma'at, dealing with that right there. And also now, just give you a wrap up, because you're just now joining us. And now we are talking about religion and spirituality, the difference in between the two of them. And so I know my other two panels that's on there, they are already well aware of what I'm speaking of. So it's just like I was saying, or getting ready to say, once you become into this understanding, this knowledge, now you have to surround yourself with like people. Because just like what Brother Everett said earlier, he got tired of debating. Because see, debating draw out too much of your energy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then you get sick. You get weak. You see what I'm saying? And you can't fight the battle to where you want to fight it. You see what I'm saying? And that could be friends, that could be family members. Man, my family, they love me. But once I became into this spirituality, the same treatment that they gave me once I left Christianity and went into the Nation of Islam and stopped eating those pork chops and those chitlins. You know what I'm saying? If they this, they said, "Wow, shit, your mama made them, or your daddy made them, now you don't want them." I said, but see, you're not knowing that and understanding they didn't have no choice in the matter.
Right.
The slave master, he ate the best of the hog, and he threw the rest out to scrap out for us, you know what I'm saying, for our ancestors. And a sister, a goddess, even if she don't know she's a goddess, when she get a hold to a frying pan and some grease,
she's gonna do miracles.
Yes. She's the master chef. You see what I'm saying? And see, that's why they took the female, the goddess, and put her on the back scene instead of on the front scene, because in Kemet, you see what I'm saying, the first warrior was a female.
I want to hold your point right there, and that's something that I want you to go on before I let you go. I know we've been on for a while, so I want to appreciate you. The respect of the woman in our history, and especially in Kemet, Ma'at, a woman, it seems like we praised the woman and had so much value and respect for the woman. And now we don't. It's like we are in somebody else's system. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Just and this all is everything is connected. You see what I'm saying? And see the fear which all life come from. See, they talk about the masculine conception of the Christ. They took that from Horus and the Set. But yet, if you go back further, see, we haven't even scraped the surface of how the cosmos and the universe was created, and about woman, way before the time of the Anunnakians. And we could have another show on that one right there. Because there was a time when the female didn't have to have intimacy with a male in order to have a child. Because everything starts with a thought.
Right.
And so, but how they disconnected and put the woman in the background is because they knew the power that she possesses. Yes, my sisters out there, my sisters and my goddesses, the power that you really possess, that you need to reconnect at this time, since we practicing social dissonance, is right now. If you don't get it together now, you're done.
That's right.
You're done. Because the power that she has, I'm gonna take that candy out my mouth before I choke. The power that she possesses, that she creates with her thought, is more powerful than an atom bomb. And see, know your role, claim your throne, This is your time.
Right.
Because you walk it on great Mother Earth. And she bad. Mother Nature bad.
That's right.
when she really want to. You see what I'm saying? And see, the woman, you see what I'm saying, or the goddess, she's in her rightful role when she's thinking the right way. And see, all the kings are, or the gods' responsibility and role is the protector. You see what I'm saying? And the maintainer.
That's right.
But the female, she's the goddess, she's the nurturer, she's provider. You see what I'm saying? Those two together, coming together as one, is unstoppable.
That's right.
Know yourself.
That's right.
Know your history. Know your culture. You know what I'm saying? And get reconnected. Because this next wave that's getting ready to come past, if you ain't on a higher level of frequency and studies and electricity or energy, you're going to miss the mark. You're really going to miss the mark.
Well, Chief Elder, I got to thank you for coming on. I know I've been stressing you out, hitting you, but I know you got so much power and knowledge. And first, I want to thank you because you always sending me Zoom meetings and conferences and webinars and so much information, just willingly doing it, man. So I want to thank you there. And I got to get you back on again, definitely. I'm going to send you the link of everything of the show, and it's going to be looking good and tight. I got you covered. Before I let you go, I got to ask you one thing. What's your favorite law of Ma'at? What one do you think hits home to you? I know it's a lot of them.
Oh, wow.
Or principle.
Well, principle, okay, good. You know, I believe it's number, like I said earlier, I can't remember all of them. But I know the most powerful one is like what you have on your shirt, the 7. Mm-hmm. Those are the most powerful one. The treat yourself like you want to treat your neighbor. But don't be a fool, though. See, I add something to it. If your neighbor ain't right, God doggone, you can't treat them like you could treat yourself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the honor. You know what I'm saying? You have to honor yourself before you can give honor.
That's right.
You know, so why this process is going on now, this is even through the storm, this is one of the best times and opportunities that we will have ever as melanated people to really re-examine everything from the bottom up, so above, so below. Because if you're going to be up under illusion and you're going to keep on to this spell, you see what I'm saying? It says in the Bible, it says Satan had deceived the world for over 6 million years. Well, his time was up 30 years ago.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We just still getting that trickle down effect of what's going on now. You see what I'm saying? Because somebody else is picking it up. You see what I'm saying? And carrying it, because the dark side, let me touch on this for a few seconds, few minutes. Okay. Respectfully, so that they can have a full understanding of the light and the dark and what kind of energy is being circulated right now. Because like when I was speaking of when you go to a ball game or something and you in that arena, those arenas were set up to steal your energy, to see how they can master and control your thoughts and your thinking. And so now what is playing against this globe here right now is the dark side. You can call it the Illuminati, you call it Skull and Bones, you can call it Boule, call it what you want to call it, but this is what's happening with these human sacrifices, that they are exchanging human beings for alien technology, because these beings or these aliens been in the earth for millions of years. All of this is coming out because see, they got to do something that's going to draw you out. Mm-hmm. And when they show you actually in the Antarctic is where these beings, there's cities that's in the earth. You can't go there. You got to have a certain clearance or a president of a country to enter there.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And we got to understand about the North and South poles and how that shift, because right now she's a little bit off of her axis. She's at a balance, not an unbalance. And that's why the dark side is trying to reorganize itself, but they got to go. They out of here. Matter of fact, they fleeing. As I'm speaking, they are fleeing. And some of these politicians that's in front of you right now are clones. They actually clone. You see what I'm saying? But I don't want to go into that because I was just about to say a name. I was gonna, like I said, I told you earlier, put on your seatbelt and see, everything can be validated. Everything can be proven. There's not one thing that I've mentioned on this Zoom conference call is a lie. And it's not my opinion. It's my understanding because I've been awakened.
Right.
Because out of everything that's on this planet here, I sacrifice myself to it and say, all I want to know is the truth. That's all. You can't give me a mansion. You can't give me $100 billion. I don't want it, because our ancestors take very good care of the chief elder minister.
That's right.
And I got enough energy to lighten up this. I'm surprised the doggone internet didn't flicker. You see what I'm saying?
It was going in and out, but the ancestors bless you. Like you freeze and then they kick you back in. They're like, no, we got to get this information out.
That's right, because see, AI, which is artificial intelligence, is learning. And this is the biggest computer, master computer, that's over 200 miles long. You see what I'm saying? A computer that is analyzing everything. You see what I'm saying? It's trying to learn how to have feelings, which it never can have feelings, because these Caucasoids, these reptilians don't even have a spirit. That's why they act the way that they act, because they can go out, their whole life is nothing about destruction. If you're just coming in for a few seconds, please mute your phone so you don't have no background disturbance. Thank you very much. And so that's how these officers are able to do to our sons and daughters and our elders and take a life without even blinking. Because once they did those certain rituals of becoming a police officer or into politics or something like that, they swore allegiance. And we used to swear allegiance every time we stand up and said a pledge of allegiance, and we didn't even know what we was doing or saying. But we was giving honor to something outside of ourselves. You see, this thing goes way back. It goes way back. And that's why we are in this period of the Great Awakening, this fake pandemic. Now, don't get it twisted. Something going on.
Right.
People have been dying every day for decades. You see what I'm saying? And then I hear that they labeling them. A person got in an airplane crash, and her husband got in an airplane crash and died. And when she got their death certificate back, it had COVID-19 on it. He died because of that. No. He died because that airplane crash.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Other than that, he was fine. You know what I'm saying? On that jet. You see what I'm saying? And so, but yet, as we move forward in our conclusion, if you're just joining us, we've been talking about the 42 principles of Ma'at. We've been talking about Kemet. We've been talking about spirituality versus religion as well. And we didn't get into the full spectrum of how we can protect ourselves today. But I did drop a little bit of jewels.
Yes.
If you was able to cipher it and pick it up and start your research now. If you haven't done it yesterday, do it now. After this broadcast ends, it's my best advice, my best opinion to give you, because just because everything around you, outside of you is going to fall down, you be still standing. I guarantee you that, because the ancestors, our ancestors, gave me the wisdom and the knowledge to awaken our people. But if you're not willing and seeking, you already through.
That's right.
You already done. You already sold your soul to the dark side, didn't even know it. So I ask you, and I plead with you, for your children, my children, because one day they will meet up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Do it for them. If you don't do it for yourself,
I say,
do it for that seed that came through the portal of your womb into this reality. From the cosmos. And I said it, from the cosmos. Yeah, it took man and woman to join together, but that seed came from the cosmos. Trust me when I say that. You see what I'm saying? And enter into the womb, because in the womb is the darkness of the cosmos, for which you gave life, and you will take life. Because I know some sisters that'll take you to the hoop. So in my conclusion, I sent out positive energy for healing and spiritual growth and protection around the world.
That's right.
Around the world, mainly at this time. And just hold on.
Chief Elder, sorry to cut you off. Somebody wanted to contact you. You have an email or something where they can just talk to you, get some knowledge. You got somewhere, email something they can contact you. You want to give out?
Yes, I give up at this time. And then I guess you got a chat box here. I also put it in the chat box,
Okay.
my email address, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Henry B. John, B as in boy, John at G women. Henry B. John at gmail.com.
Henry B. John at Gmail.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also you can find me on Facebook. Mr. John D. Henry. There's a whole bunch of John D. Henrys on it, but you seen this face right here, you know who I am. And if you're not seeing it and you're not live and you on your devices, your cell phones or whatever, and you can't see this live or you can't see the audio and things on there, it's John D. Henry on Facebook. Now I have 2 pages. My first page is where I talk about everything. I just put everything that's awareness that I studied, that I researched, and I don't post nothing that I haven't researched because my credibility and my character is on the line. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when I do public speakings and things, when I used to do public speakings and gatherings, everything is recorded and documented. So this way, ain't nobody can misinterpret anything that I said. Because we can play it back on the rewind. And if you didn't understand it then I break it down again to you. Also, I just started my YouTube channel.
Yeah. What's that YouTube channel?
And that YouTube channel is Mr. John D. Henry on YouTube. I'm there where I do some of everything. You see what I'm saying? I got a video on there that I took this dryer apart step by step. Because see, when you connect, I always had a gift since I was young. When I was like 8 years old, my mom, she asked me to go fix the washing machine. And I said, I went to school yet for the washing machine, but I just put my hand on it, I touch it, and I go right to the source. What's wrong with it? Right. And I fix it down to appliances and color TV. John, adjust the color and the TV. I go in the back, I look, I touch it, and I know the adjustments. You see what I'm saying? We are connected to everything. Everything, not just one of each other, the trees, the birds, the insects. How many times have you really walked in the grass barefooted? See, you automatically disconnected because you're either wearing tennis shoes, high shoes, or flip-flops. That leather disconnect you from your vibrations that you need to receive it.
Right.
That's why your battery, your car battery, it has a positive and negative terminal, and this is connected to Maat. It has a positive and negative terminal. They both got to coexist with each other. One cannot sustain itself by itself without the other. Right. And that's how these Caucasoids know. They say, look, we can do what we want to do to them. You see what I'm saying? Because we're going to master the energy, and ain't nobody going to hold us accountable for nothing. Not even Trump. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because with Trump is the fight for power between the Knights Templar and the Illuminati. That's all that's going on. That's all that's going on. Ain't nothing else. If they ain't talking about that, then the rest of it is just propaganda. Because Trump last week, now go get the history of the Knights Templar then, because I connected what I'm saying. Trump shut down the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds is the central bankers that control the economy. And that's why in some of your cities, maybe all our cities, there's a shortage of change. You can use your debit card or your credit card, you see what I'm saying, at these machines. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you're going through that express server go through, they used to just, you can put money in and your card, but now you just got to put your card in it. Right. Okay, period. See, you got to be able to see the signs, because you don't see the signs, you're gonna miss your mark. And the only way that you're gonna get them signs is you reconnect yourself to your ancestors and build your altar. I don't care if it's just on a milk crate, because it's your intentions that's going to free your mind and your soul and your spirit all at the same time. You see what I'm saying? Start drinking some alkaline water. Start eating holistic foods. Even though, and I'm going to say this, everything is contaminated. Yes. I don't care if they said it's organic or what. If you ain't got it in a controlling environment in a warehouse that you filtering or redoing the air, right. You see what I'm saying? You got the right soil and stuff right there. That's really organic. But if it's right outside your house, or down the street on a farmland, and they calling it organic, okay. Okay. So, but hey, I know, brother. I know. I'm honored.
Oh, it's been a blessing, Chief Elder. We gotta do this again.
Yes, sir.
We gotta do this again. And
yes,
so I'm gonna send you the link, because it's gonna stream live. So, and I got you covered on everything. I just want to thank you again for just coming on and giving the people the knowledge. It's truly been a blessing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I say, and I thank you for this opportunity, because see, ain't too many individuals, young kings that's coming out now. You see what I'm saying? Invite the elder on, because they know that this might be the last time you have a broadcast.
Hey, no, man, we got to support the elders. I actually a friend reached out to me and gave me Professor Griff's number, and I just sent him a text saying I support you, because sometimes when you hitting that information, they condemn you. But
yes,
you know, I'm blessed to have a format that is only going to a certain people, so they can condemn me all I want. I just want to reach my people, you know. So
that's right. If we can get Professor Griff on with me and James Small, see,
that's the powerful stuff.
See, this is what we trying. Let me get this in, because also I got a Zoom as well, and we recreating the Council of Elders. You see what I'm saying? And I'm trying to pick the 24 top elders. You see what I'm saying? Because first, all we had to do is acknowledge that we dropped the ball.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I apologize to a lot of our youth, because there's no reason why in the world I should be fighting the same battles that my father fought and my grandfather fought. That's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? But I understand the spell and illusion and the technology that they gave you a little bit of quote unquote different stars or statuses, you see, and that distracted you from the mission of you being a black leader. Right. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But this time around, as long as I'm chief elder and I'm standing on the hem, ain't nothing getting past me.
That's right.
So if you've been offended, any way, shape, or form or fashion, I apologize now, but let the pain hit. Next time I'm going to give you some anesthesia. So this way you'll be able to enjoy some of this speaking, because you're going to be numb.
That's right.
While I inject that Novocaine inside you, and then I'm going to give you some honey with a little bit of Pepto-Bismol, because, you know, we couldn't take that stuff unless you had something sweet.
Yeah, that knowledge will shake you up.
It'll shake you up, because you remember that castor oil our mother used to give us. You see what I'm saying? I remember, and that's how we was healthy. When last time you had a thing castor oil?
That might be before my time. I don't even know. I have to ask my mother. She gave it to me. That's how long ago that might have been.
Yes, sir. And that was keeping our system regulated. You see what I'm saying? Just as well as you have to have that understanding, you have to know how your organs function. You got to be able to hear. You hear your stomach growl when you're hungry. It's not hungry. That's that. That's that parasite that's inside. Trust
Right.
me when I say that. So, but I don't, cause see, I been on went into something else,
No.
brother.
You was
I love
flowing.
you. I love you, and like I said, so above, so below. Anything I can touch on it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, and I definitely gotta bring you on again. I just gotta say Hotep again, and thank you so much because this was powerful.
Thank you, my brother. Hey, have a great week, blessed week, and rest assured, my brother. From now on, if you ain't know, you know now your ancestors got your back, your side, and your front for your whole family and your community because you that light beacon that's sending out that message in the cosmos and the universe for Chief Elder to be on your show.
I thank you again. I appreciate you. Oh man, what a great interview by my brother Chief Elder, Mr. John D. Henry. Please check out his format. Please hit that like and subscribe button at Real Truth and Power on YouTube. Also go to our Facebook page, Real Truth and Power. Hit that like and subscribe. But go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit the alert. We're going to be having a special show coming up. And we're going to be giving away, I believe, like $100 or something. So you guys want to tune into that. So you got to go to the YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert bell, so you can get on there and be one of the first to be eligible to win. So I want to thank my brother Chief Elder again. I got to get him back on. I hear everybody saying this. I got to get him back on. I also got to put in the plug. Also go to the Collect the Black People Movement channel. And we're probably what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same format. We're gonna give away some prizes on that channel as well. So go to the Collect the Black People Movement channel, Collect the Black People Movement on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button and also hit the alert bell. And what's going to happen is they're going to be streaming. They had a phenomenal 100-year celebration, 24 hours on Zoom, and they're going to upload that. You're going to see all of the members from the UNIA. Also, UNIA 421. You can go to that YouTube channel. Please subscribe there as well. It's going to be aired on both channels. Man, it was a powerful event. Shout out to President General Michael Duncan. You know, he was there. All of the UNIAs was there. Shout out to UNIA 421, Brother Roz. They were all of them giving presentations, kicking out knowledge, just the unity and love. You gotta see it for yourself. And also my brother Caesar Kajana, he's starting the UNIA in Baltimore. I'm blessed to help be one of the founding members. We're going to get that up and going. So it's a lot of things going on to uplift our black people. And again, I want to kick a shout out to Chief Elder John Henry. And yes, I will get him back on. Brother was flowing with so many topics, you know, it was just powerful. So I want to shout him out again. I believe his email is johndhenry@gmail.com if you're interested in having him speak or kick some knowledge. And I'm glad he mentioned something. I saw you guys' comments about having that committee of elders. I think that'll be powerful. So we just want to get him back on and also talk about his African village that he has in South Carolina. So we got a lot to talk about this brother, and it was powerful. So I want to say Hotep to everybody, man. Peace and blessings. Another powerful show. Also, Brother Jay Rich's show, strictly seriously joking, is out. And we have just finalized our first Collective Black People Movement show for Michonne Davis. It's going to be a brief cooking show. She's cooking some fine items. So check her out on Divas on Call on Facebook. That's Divas on Call on Facebook. Her show should air, I believe, Thursday. I believe it's airing. It's going to be a short show, but it's going to be a cooking show. And we're going to promote our sisters. So again, Hotep, man, I'm out of here. Another great show. What I am going to do to let you guys know, I know the show was long. I'm going to chop it up in sections so we can really get each topic for from our brother Chief Elder. And again, shout out and thank you so much, Chief Elder, Brother John D. Henry, for allowing me to interview you. It's a blessing, and I'll get you on soon. Hotep, y'all. We out of here. Real truth and power. My aunt. Learn yourself. SelectedBlackPeopleMovement.org.
Real truth and power. Health. Wealth. Knowledge of
Learn
self.
yourself.
Uplifting the community. Let's talk about it. Real truth and power. Health.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Truth and Power.
Wealth.
We provide health, wealth, and also
Knowledge of self.
to uplift the black community.
Uplifting the community.
Next show, call in so we can talk
Let's
about it.
talk about it.
I said.
Real truth and power. Health. Wealth. Knowledge of self. Uplifting the community. Let's talk about it.